if you want to see all of this, go to my OnlyFans account right now. Welcome back, guys. This is the 6-month post-op FUE hair transplant update. And I haven't seen you in about 3 months, and that's because I decided to hold off a little while for more growth to happen. I figured it'd be more exciting to show you more progress and see if any more questions accumulate in the comment section. So it's been a little while, but here we are now, and this is how it's looking. Take a look at my previous video, actually all my previous videos for that matter, to see kind of how the process looked from stage to stage. This is, I think, pretty good for 6 months. Still more growth to happen in the next 4 to 6 months. Technically, this is only the halfway mark from what they say the 1-year window of time it takes for the end result of a hair transplant procedure. So I've also heard that the 4 to 6 month window is where the most growth happens. So I think that's pretty true from what I've been able to tell. So at this point, you can still see a little bit of thinness up here, but in the next 6 months, that's gonna fill in pretty good, and it's gonna be a lot more of a official, thick, full hairline up top. And I also want to put up on the screen a comparison between my last 5 videos I did a 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 2 month, and 3 month video. And now this is the 6 month. So I'll show you exactly what those look like side by side to know generally what to expect. These results are going to be a little bit different for everybody, but I think this gives a pretty good idea of generally what to expect. And I'll also give you my general thoughts and feelings on kind of each of those stages as time went on. Starting with day 1. Day 1 was obviously the hardest day. A little bit of pain, dizziness, being dazed, and generally our job on day 1 is just to recover and be as comfortable as possible and let our body do its thing and start to heal those wounds that we just created in the top of our head and the back of our head. And the following week after that, I chose to stay home from work and continue to rest. I didn't want to be out in public or in the office feeling the way I felt and also looking the way I looked. So I gave that first week just a total rest and recovery time working from home. And you're not allowed to have any physical activity during that first week anyway. So I just decided I'll use this week for my full advantage of healing and recovering. So from the first day that I was allowed to wear a hat up until about a week ago, I pretty much wore a hat everywhere but work, every day, including the gym, restaurants, so on and so forth. Still hiding the work in progress on the top of my head until literally just a week ago I kind of started to reveal the progress that had happened outside of work and outside of home. So I just went to the gym last week for the very first time with my new hair and new hairstyle. So this is a brand new style that I hadn't rocked since high school, actually, and it feels good. Feels good and looks good. Definitely compared to what my previous style before the operation was, which was a balding pattern up front and a little bit up top, but the back of my hair down here. So about after a couple weeks, 3 weeks, my hair started to disappear, the new hair, and that's called the ugly duckling phase. for about a month, month and a half, maybe 2 months in some cases. A natural reaction to this procedure is all the moved hair that's been growing out since the operation tends to start falling out, and that's just essentially because it was moved from one location to the other, and so it wasn't the actual freshly grown hair that was growing, it was moved hair. So technically it was fake, or at least dead hair, kind of still trying to grow in that short window of time after the operation. So once that hair falls out, you kind of look like a worse version of yourself than before the operation even. So during that time, the brand new hair is slowly peeking its way out for the first time, and that phase, ugly duckling phase, can last a while. So I think about at the 3-month mark was about when mine was kind of obviously done. I would say my ugly duckling phase lasted a couple months before it started to look relatively normal and decent enough to feel okay about without totally hiding it. For a while there, I was wearing a hat everywhere I went, including work, just because of how bald my head looked, just kind of in that initial regrowing phase. So I'd say 3-month mark is where you start to look about the same as you did before the operation, and you have the new hairs starting to spurt for the first time. So your original hair that was shaved before the operation has regrown by that point, and now you're starting to have these new blossoms come through, which I'm still getting some at the 6-month mark, and will continue to get more until the year is over. So I'm excited for that full year of growth and progress to see kind of what the end result really is. So looking back from this point, it's been a journey, and for most of that 6 months that I just went through, didn't look great. But then I think to myself, did it look great before this operation? And the answer is no. So I guess I'm glad to have gone through this and made it through this 6-month window to get to where I'm at now. And I'm just so glad I made this decision to do this and finally feel totally comfortable, totally confident again, even at just the 6-month mark. It's gonna keep getting better from here, but that's the whole thing for me is just feeling myself out in public without having to hide in any way. That's what this whole thing is about. And you probably have similar reasons that you will or have done this operation for. If you are thinking about it, but not quite sure if you want to go for it, just realize that this is a real short hurdle to go through, to go over, to get to a place where you're really happy with. Another thing I've been realizing from some of my audience, the YouTube watchers, is not everyone can do this operation. Not everyone is a qualified donor, for a hair transplant procedure, though they really wish they could be. So that puts it into perspective for me as far as, if you really want to do this, but you're holding off, or you're questioning things, or you're procrastinating, or anything like that, then just consider the fact that there's a lot of people that wish they can have that option and aren't able to, because they're just not a qualified, biological recipient. So I was really glad to know that I was a great candidate for this operation, and it didn't take me long after knowing that to actually go for this full speed, And in fact, I was gonna wait quite a bit longer, probably 2 or 3 months longer than I did to have this procedure done, and it just turned out that a client that had an appointment set pulled out last minute, and the doctor called me telling me that, hey, we've got a spot open if you want to take it this coming Tuesday. So I literally had 5 days or 4 days to make a decision that I thought I had a few months to make. And so I'm really glad that that opportunity came up and that I took it up short notice versus just waiting, because it would have been another few months past this point where I would have had the same results. I guess there's really no reason to wait, even financially, because almost every case you can have this kind of thing financed, and there's a lot of options out there for that to be possible. So just see what your options are. First of all, pick a great clinic that is reputable, a good doctor who knows what he or she is doing. Also a good financing arrangement, because that's really important. And I think anyone can do this as soon as they're ready, because of how many options are out there financially to assist with something like this. Anyways, guys, this is going to be the last update until the 10-month mark or the 1-year mark. So I really appreciate you tuning in and sticking with me. Next time I see you, I will probably have a really full, thick, obvious hairline, and might just be the end result of this hair transplant procedure. But in the meantime, please check out the other videos. Please leave your comments and your questions down below. I'll do my very best to answer every single one of them, because even though I'm not making more videos in the meantime, I will be answering those. So I just want to thank you again for watching, sticking with me on this journey, this whole 6 months and beyond. And I hope that this has helped you. It's gotten you the information that you're after, and especially encouragement, because that's the biggest thing that I want to do. Not only inform you on this journey, but encourage you to make the decision that you want to make. That'll be it for this one. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in 4 to 6 months. Bye.